Okay, so it occurred to me while watching some of the tutorials and editing them that I definitely did not do a good job of explaining XYZ space. Some of you understand it from math class, and some of you guys are like, what the heck? So it's important to remember the colors. I understand that I have students out there that are colorblind, and that may be a challenge, especially if you end up with a mistake like what we had where something got inverted or changed. Now, typically, Z space goes back in space, and it's always blue. Now, when selected, it's yellow, so that's kind of confusing, but if I don't select it, it's blue. It's always going to be blue. X is always going to be red, and it's always going to go left to right. And Y is always going to be green and go up and down. Now, it's possible we're turned around here and it looks like X is blue, or the Z is actually X. So how can you tell where you're at? Well, you can always go to the orthographic view panels. So, space bar. And if you go to the front view, notice you can't see the blue because it's going back in Z space. All right, so that's one way of telling. And this is from the top, you can't see Y because it's going straight up at us. And over here on the side, you can't see X because it's going back and forth. So this is correct. And it's very important for those of you who are not colorblind to memorize this. And for those of you who are colorblind, that's a real challenge. Just know that typically speaking, you'll have to look through these orthographic viewpoints to get that missing data of color. If that really is the case with you and that's your situation, you're going to have to just remember that in the front view, Z space goes back. In the side view, X goes back. In the top view, Y goes back or down, and that, as it were. Also, just note over here, you've got this little key here that shows you X, Y, and Z. It's just miniature and very small and hard to see. But as you turn, you can see it turns as well. So that's just another little hint in there for you. And they're in all the viewports as well. Okay, I hope that makes a little more sense. Memorize those colors. It's going to be important for you. And if you're colorblind, you really are going to have to do that extra work. And that's just the way it is. But don't worry about it. You guys got this. All right, I'll see you in the next one.